That was a feel-good win as the Miami Heat win 121-95. I can't believe it. Eric Reed couldn't believe it. He's over there with a couple minutes to go saying, John Crotty, can you believe it? The Miami Heat have 119 points. I know, Eric. I'm stunned too. Even as the buzzer sounded, Eric Reed is like, that's a blowout win. I repeat, a blowout win. That boy Eric Reed knew that he had to emphasize that because he may not get a lot of chances to say that again. But shout out to my boy Eric Reed. But seriously, what an amazing game. I honestly have no complaints. Well, that's not true. I have one. And my only complaint is that they didn't do it last game versus the Clippers when I was in the building. As a lot of y'all may or may not know, I posted a vlog from my last game versus the Clippers in which I was there, and I spent a lot of money to watch the Heat put up 85 points with a minute to go in the fourth quarter. Now, they finished with 95. Somehow they put up like 10 garbage points in a minute, which made it even more frustrating. But it wasn't a great performance, but whatever. My boy Thomas wanted to go to the game. He likes Kawhi. Go watch the vlog. A lot of people love my vlogs, actually. That's like my 5th one on the channel. They get great reviews, but they don't get as much love as my other videos. So make sure y'all go check that out. Anyways, the Miami Heat do have a beautiful win today. In all honesty, no complaints. They were kind of took control early and never really looked back. It got as close to 10 come the fourth quarter. And then you got Jim VP as the prophecy is once again becoming true. That's why I told none of y'all to ever be worried. Y'all know the meme. Throw the meme up there. And it is once again following the script to a T. Beautiful job by Jimmy Butler tonight, being aggressive. Man, his shooting this season is incredible. He even said himself if he could make his damn free throws, he'd be 50, 40, 90. Because I believe before today, he was like low to mid 40% from 3. And he was 2 of 3 from 3 today, or 2 of 4. Anyways, he hit another 2 threes today. Let me check the actual stats real quick. He was 2 of 4 from 3, so 50% to raise his averages even more. What an insane and completely random turnaround from Jimmy. We know come playoff time, he turns into Steph Curry, so we know he's capable. But to do it in the regular season over the entire span of it is kind of wild because, when he was with the Bulls, he wasn't a great three-point shooter, but he was like a low 30% guy. But since joining the Miami Heat, he's been much worse than that. So to see him here coming up to the All-Star break actually be in the, low to mid 40% from 3 is incredible. And right as that game got to 10 points, Jimmy sensed it getting close, hit a tough 3 in the corner. A little bit of like a step back, side step 3, kind of reminiscent of the one he hit in Milwaukee last year. You could tell Jimmy wanted to scream and let it out, but he's like, I know this is the regular season, so let me not get too hyped. But then the next play, he made Mo Wagner his son, and then had to give a little celebration. The boy did the too small. Like I say all the time, you love to see when Jimmy is celebrating and active and engaged because when he is, he's unstoppable. That's why I have no concern about Jimmy Butler. I get at his age, it's hard to do that night in and night out. Every game in the regular season, he's been picking and choosing his spots to be aggressive much better of late. And it's just a nice reminder knowing that he still is capable, even though I've never doubted. So come playoff time, it's going to be a good one. And as Jimmy did finish the night with 23 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. He shot 66% from the floor, 12 free throw attempts. Perfect game from Jimmy Butler. One of the interesting things we did see from the starting lineup is no more Haywood Highsmith. Not only did he not start, he only played like 3 minutes of garbage time. They went back to Caleb Murray at the 4, which is kind of what they ran all of last season, and it was very good for them. Hit a couple threes to start the game, had a very great game overall. He finished with 11 points, 5 of 9 shooting. He only hit 1 3. I guess he must have had a couple toe on the line ones. That is true. That's his specialty. If you want to talk about the greatest players in NBA history, you got like Game 6 Clay, Gang Sign John Wall, Untucked Kyrie, and then you got toe on the line Caleb Martin is automatic. But he really had an awesome game tonight. Again, he's not a 4. That's not his position. But just like last year and tonight, he did play it as well as you could possibly expect from him. Obviously, that doesn't change the holes they have on this team. I guess I should mention that as well. Come the trade deadline February 8th, I hope this game doesn't fool the front office. Try to get a power forward in here. Try to get a backup guard because this team still desperately needs it. But if I'm going to be negative when they lose and say I'm only going to react to the game, then I'm just going to react to the game tonight, which was overall very positive. So let's keep that positivity going by talking about Tyler Herro, which is another huge difference from last game. Last game, they were missing Tyler Herro. That's a guy that I've been saying should be benched or maybe traded for other pieces, and it did not make any difference last game because they didn't have Tyler and the Heat sucked. Now, a lot of me saying that was contingent on Duncan Robinson starting. Obviously, they didn't have Duncan last game either, so that's a little, fluky what happened last game, but it was nice to see Tyler come back tonight and be amazing. Amazing, right? He only had 14 points tonight, but had 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and more importantly, wow, he was 6 of 13. So he wasn't even 50%. But what it really is for me, based off the eye test that made me feel like he was much better than his stats show, because truthfully, I thought his numbers were better. But it's because I didn't feel like he was forcing. He let the game come to him. He tried to get Bam involved in pick and rolls, had a couple lobs, took very open shots, open threes, open mid-range shots, and I felt like for the most part he converted. Again, only 46% today, but that's fine. 46% for a jump shooter is certainly not anything to complain about, especially when Tyler Herro has been shooting terribly. Speaking of guys that have been shooting terribly, Terry Rozier was on one tonight. The man finished with 18 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 of 12 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. Welcome, finally, Scary Terry. Because prior to this game, the man was like 33% from the field, 21% from 3. And I'm sitting here saying, when is it okay to judge Terry Rozier? Because it seemed to me like he was getting a big pass from a lot of Heat fans. And I'm like, I get it. He's new here, but it's been an 8-game sample size in which he's been awful scoring-wise, right? He's brought the other stuff. He's been very, decent defensively, I think, or as good as you can expect. Has been great facilitating the ball. But we traded a first-round pick, which is half of our assets, right? We traded half of our assets to get a scorer, and he was shooting the ball awfully. I felt like 8 games is starting to get to that point where maybe we should be concerned. But I guess we can at least give him to the All-Star break. And he was, again, very nice tonight. They got another 4 games to the All-Star break. So hopefully this does mean that he's trending in the right direction. Because when Terry Rozier is playing like he did tonight, not only scoring, but stuffing the stat sheet, he brings this team to a completely other level. Just like Bam Adebayo, who finished the night with 14 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 7 of 9. Now, you haven't got these really big Bam scoring games recently, basically since everyone got healthy. And I'm okay with that as long as he makes the shots he's supposed to make. Because recently, he's been missing layups. He's been missing those open, bunny floaters. He's been missing those mid-range jumpers, the turnarounds that he's been hitting all season. And because he was missing, I feel like he started to force more and more to try to get his shot back instead of letting it come to him. That was the problem. Now, tonight, still scored the 14 points that he's been scoring. But again, he was 7 of 9 because he didn't force it. And when he did get it right in his breadbasket, he was able to convert. And obviously, defensively, he brought it as he always does. So I also love what you got from Bam Adebayo tonight. Now, if you look at the bench, so everyone in the starting lineup double digits. Off the bench, you had Jaime Jaquez with a nice bounce back game himself because he's been struggling. Let me tell you, as much as we all love my guy Jaime Jaquez, the man couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. But tonight, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Wow, he was only 4 for 11. Yeah, I was fooled by this big win, thinking that he played much better than he did. 4 for 11 is not great anyways. He's obviously struggling a bit to find his shot, but he's a rookie. He's constantly being switched roles. That's a guy that I'm willing to give, much more longer of a pass to, because I do believe like we've seen enough from Jaime Jaquez to know how talented he is. So he's not a guy that I'm too worried about. But it was nice to see him have a little better game, at least statistically. And then you also had Josh Richardson with 13 points, 5 rebounds. He was 5 for 7. I've been saying it a lot recently. Josh Richardson has been getting a lot of slack. Heat fans are hating on him. But let me remind you, he's a minimum contract guy. He's playing as great as you could possibly expect for a minimum guy. Same with Kevin Love, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Again, he only played 15 minutes. Kevin Love is a guy that's been capping out around 15 minutes. But his impact feels like he plays 30 minutes, right? Because he comes in and makes these great energy plays, tipping the ball on rebounds 4 or 5 times until him or another teammate gets it, getting these putbacks, taking a charge, doing these outlook passes, all stuff that energizes the crowd, energizes the team, and that's where he's so impactful. Maybe at this stage of his career, 15 to 20 minutes a night of energy is all that he really has left in the tank, but those 15 minutes have packed a punch. Especially when he's shooting the ball well, which he has of late. He was 1 of 7 from 3 today. Damn, he was terrible too shooting. Why did I feel like everyone was so much better shooting than they were? That's crazy. But shout out to Duncan Robinson. He also came back tonight. 9 points, 1 of 4 from 3. But still, it was nice to see him get back from his concussion. So glad to hear everything's okay with him. But maybe the best part about this game is the Heat put up 121 points against the Orlando Magic, who they said had the 5th ranked defense in NBA. Have all those long, rangy, back or front court players like Franz and Paulo and Wendell. Their guards are excellent defenders. Jalen Suggs is a dog. So for the Miami Heat to do that against this team, I do think it's significant. Don't write that off. Just don't write the Orlando Magic off, because they were also kind of making it a big deal after the game. This gives the Heat the tiebreaker over the Magic. So God forbid we somehow end up tied in the playoffs, we'd get the advantage there. But I'm hoping this Heat team can go on a run and not end up tied, because as we sit right now, the Heat are in 7th place, still in that play-in tournament, but 1 game behind the 6th seed Indiana Pacers. I don't want to be in the play-in tournament. They got to at least jump them, and I'll be happy. Even if they finish 6th, I'll be happy. Although the 7th seed right now does play the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Miami Heat will bust that ass. I don't know, maybe not. The Cavs are big. Big team scary. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's really all I got to say for this video. I guess we didn't shout out anyone from the Magic. Boncaro, he was great as always, 23, 9, and 7. Yeah, he's awesome. Shout out to Mike Miller, his agent. He was in attendance tonight, and I'm looking forward to watching their new podcast. They just dropped an episode. They either dropped the episode, was it with Jason Williams or was it with Shannon Crowder? I saw a couple different clips online. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out. But shout out to Mike Miller and UD for their new podcast. But that's all I gotta say for this video. The Miami Heat play again tomorrow night versus Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. It'll be an amazing game. So make sure y'all like this channel and subscribe so you can come back tomorrow for more content. I also did drop a video earlier today where I reacted to an article giving one realistic trade for every single NBA team. So make sure y'all go check that out. I do plan on having a video out tomorrow, or at least sometime before the trade deadline, talking about some other moves that he can make, because it's an exciting time with that trade deadline coming up Thursday, February 8th. But I've been rambling enough, so I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.